Gervonta Davis, Plan B, if the April Ryan Garcia fight doesn't happen. Who will it be? What's good, everybody? It's your boy, Cardinal Red Sports. Let's talk about it. Alright, so your boy Tank Davis is supposed to be fighting Ryan Garcia in April. Things are looking like they're, picking up as far as the negotiation goes, but this is the sport of boxing, and whenever we want something, it usually doesn't happen. So I'm not going to get my hopes too high, but when I break that fight down, I'm going to just break it down for a few minutes. When I break that fight down, I see Tank overwhelming Garcia with power. I see Ryan Garcia trying to come in and get Tank moving quicker than he normally does. If you watch Tank's past 2 or 3 fights, you'll see that he moves at his own pace. Even slower than a fighter like Errol Spence Jr., he definitely goes at his own pace, and he does that to gauge distance and power. He'll let you throw a few shots at him to see how much power you're throwing behind him. And Ryan Garcia isn't known as a power puncher, so I don't see him coming in with one of those type of game plans anyway to try to knock Gervonta Davis out. But I definitely see Davis coming in and landing some big shots. But I think in the beginning of the fight, Ryan would try to gas him out, use his motor to do something similar to what Curran tried to do to Jaron Ennis and gas him out and get him to throw wild shots. But I think Gervonta Davis is so poised, and he's so used to his style, and he knows how to work his style, that I think it would be hard for Ryan to get him off his game plan. But definitely look for Ryan to use that speed. We've all seen what he's done with those speed bags, so we all know he has hand speed. But does he have enough power to make Gervonta Davis uncomfortable in that fight, make him make some mistakes, and get him off that slow-paced game plan, and be able to avoid those big shots that's definitely going to come at him in the later rounds? So that's my breakdown of the fight. Who wins if they actually do fight? I see Davis winning in the later rounds. I don't think he's going to get a knockout as soon as he normally does. His knockouts usually come around the 6th, 7th round, 8th round, somewhere around there. But I think maybe the 9th, 10th, or 11th round, you'll see Gervonta Davis knock Ryan Garcia out. And I think it'll come because Ryan will gas himself out. I think Ryan's going to try to use that motor early once again. And I think Gervonta Davis, he got good defense. He can throw counter shots, and he's very poised. So it's going to be hard to throw him off of that game plan. So if Gervonta can sustain those flurries that Ryan's going to throw at him the first 5 to 6, 7 rounds, then you can see him winning really big in that fight. And I think Gervonta Davis is definitely going to be the name that's going to ring bells for years to come at 135 and above. I think he's going to go above 135 and still have an impact. Now, as far as his next opponent, what if it doesn't happen? What if that fight doesn't actually play out with Ryan Garcia? We all know this is a sport of boxing, and things happen in the sport of boxing that shouldn't happen in the sport of boxing. When you want your favorite 2 fighters to face up, normally they don't face up, and you end up getting some type of fight that you really didn't want. But I think with Gervonta Davis, anytime he's in the ring, because of his knockout ratio, it's entertainment. He's like the new age Mike Tyson. If Mike Tyson had a mini-me, it would be Gervonta Tank Davis. He is the mini-me of Mike Tyson. So I think whoever you put him in the ring with, it's going to be exciting for fans because Davis makes it exciting. But if you put him across from another big name, then you got a super fight on your hand. And if you ask me, there's only a few names I think you could match Gervonta up with that would be considered super fights. And those would be, if he could get a fight with Shakur, that would be a dope matchup. I think that would be a heck of a fight. I think Shakur would give him some problems, but I don't know if that fight can be made. I don't know if they want to make that fight. Once again, Devin Haney would be a great fight if he can make that fight. He doesn't have a lack of good fights. I think Davis would knock Devin Haney out, and I think he would do it early. I think Haney would make some mistakes in the early rounds trying to figure Gervonta out, and I think Tank could get him. And then you got Lomachenko. What if he makes a fight with Lomachenko next? Or is Devin Haney going to get that fight? We don't know. Devin Haney most likely will get that fight. I think they tried to negotiate it and it fell apart once, but I would think that Devin Haney would most likely be going after that fight next. But, any of those fights could definitely be made. They would all be big fights for Tank. I think Tank's future is extremely bright. And on the final note, if Josh Taylor moves up to 147, that kind of clears the way for anybody who wants to move to 140 and make their name. From Devin Haney to Shakur Stevens to Gervonta Davis, even Lomachenko, even though he's older than all those guys, if he wanted to move up to 140, now's the time to do it before somebody else stakes their claim. You still got your boy out there who got into it with Meek Mills the other day, so definitely he could be ringing some bells as well, once he makes his return to the ring, if he does come back. I know his shoulder was bothering him in his last fight, so I don't know if he's actually going to make a return to the ring, but not a lack of good fights for Gervonta Davis. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Who's going to be his next fight? Will the Ryan Garcia fight go through? Nobody knows at this point. Hit that like button for me. Sure. Subscribe. Holler at me on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. More than likely to get a response on the tube. Holler at me over there. Hit my Gmail if you want to collab. flockofcards@gmail.com. And we are mighty.
Where they at? Where my girls at? She like it is what it is. Nah, I ain't one to trick, I'm just investing. It's your boy Louis Keys from the West End. Any questions? Whether straight or you lesbian, play this here while I'm dressing. Now put your clothes back on. Hop in the ride, let me take you back home. She say she felt it in her backbone. Pulled her ride over, let her hop back on. She fell off and she got back on. Niggas like me be getting they Mac on. Slacks on, cap on. Yeah, that's your girl, but she ain't coming back. Now on behalf of my niggas trying to get the money stacking up. DJ spinning, trying to get the honeys back and back it up. You see your girl right there, I'm trying to pipe her. She like, it is what it is. She like it is what it is. She like it is what it is. It is what it is. She like it is what it is. She like it is. Check it is. I got a brick house, but it's like I'm talking to a brick wall. Got a thick wall, but she shit tall. Checking on my missed calls, get me pissed off. I tolerate it cause with